This is one of those things that's been bothering me since I read about it yesterday. A woman by the name of Becky Andrews who lives in the Salt Lake City area, she is legally blind, and according to her story, she was entering an Ann Taylor with her service dog and was asked to leave the store. She was originally asked by one employee, and then it was reiterated by the store manager. She was told there are no dogs allowed in the store. She explained that she is, in fact, legally blind. She has retinitis pigmentosa, which renders her unable to travel alone without her service dog, Cricket. She has her story and she blogs at a blog called Cruisin with Cricket. And she explained that based on the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is law, by the way, that she is in fact allowed to go everywhere that the public is allowed to go with her dog. And she was still told to leave. So she went to another store and she shopped. And I've seen a lot of comments on the story about how, what is she doing in the store anyway? Because how is she shopping if she's blind? Totally blind and legally blind are two different things. It doesn't mean that she can't see a thing. It means that she can't travel without her dog. The dog helps, it's her second set of eyes. What I have a problem with is that in 2012, there is a store employee anywhere who is not familiar with the Americans with Disabilities Act. And then in addition to that, I also have a problem with everything I've read based on Ann Taylor's initial reaction, which was, well, we asked her to leave because the dog wasn't in a harness. Okay, so two things. Number one, I have a hard time believing that a service dog would not have been in its harness. Becky says the dog was in fact in its harness, which would make the most sense to me, because how would a service animal not be in its harness, and how would it be serviceable to its owner if it was not in a harness? Also, even if it was not in its harness, it is not exempt from the Americans with Disabilities Act, so that doesn't make sense. Now, Ann Taylor is now backpedaling, saying that was the information they were initially given, and now they are apologizing, and based on what they are writing on their Facebook page, they are saying that they have reached out to Becky to make things right. Now, I would read to you the responses they're writing on their Facebook page, because I've taken a look at the Facebook page. I posted on their Facebook page. I don't normally do that, but I posted last night just to say that I was disappointed, because if you were to ask my children, who are 6 and 8 years old, about a service animal in a restaurant, in a retail store, they can tell you that that service animal is allowed to be there with its owner and why it is there. So I am highly confused as to why a store employee would not allow someone to be there with their dog. And beyond that, once it was explained to them by the individual with the animal, why they would not correct it themselves and apologize immediately. I find that baffling. So there's that, and then of course I also find Ann Taylor's initial response baffling. And initially when I was looking at Ann Taylor's Facebook page, I thought, oh good, they're responding. So on one hand, good, they're responding. On the other hand, they're copying and pasting the exact same response to everyone who is complaining, who is saying that they are frustrated or disappointed. And there aren't a lot of hateful comments. There are just a lot of, wow, I find this really disappointing. I've shopped with you for a very long time, and I'm disappointed in this. Now, I do keep in mind that when I first thought about it, I thought, this is two individual employees. This is not all of Ann Taylor. And then Ann Taylor responded, and I thought, Ann Taylor, what are you doing? So, what do you think? What is your opinion on the whole situation? You can also read Becky's blog at Cruisin with Cricket.